time to join forces. Get energized and fuel up right.
It's coming.
Because starting today, every kid in America has a mission. Bring out the action hero in you. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. The first movie that puts you in the action. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.
Good morning. My name is Ray Leach, and I'm the CEO of Jumpstart, and I'd like to welcome each and every one of you for being with us this morning and to offer our thanks for attending this very special and historic event today. As I look around the room, I see many friends who played and continue to play an important role in Northeast Ohio's entrepreneurial ecosystem, whether that's investing in companies, supporting companies directly, maybe being a founding Jumpstart board member. There's a handful of founding Jumpstart board members in the room from 13 years ago. I'm super grateful for the contributions each and every one of you have made to Jumpstart's mission and, more importantly, Northeast Ohio's entrepreneurial future. I'd also like to offer a warm welcome to the business owners. That's why we're all here today. I see lots of them in the audience. And we very much appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to do something like this. This isn't, I realize, an everyday kind of thing for most entrepreneurs, let alone us. But we're super inspired by the work you do and how you're going about building your businesses and helping to transform our community, and we're honored that you would choose to join us today. I'd also like to thank and welcome our partners who will be offering remarks. First, here in the front row is CEO of KeyBank, Beth Mooney, the Mayor of the City of Cleveland, Frank Jackson, Cuyahoga County Chief of Staff, Sharon Sable Jordan, an entrepreneur that we think the world of, Angela Flowers, who's the founder of Making a Difference Consulting and a graduate of Jumpstart's Core City program. DARYL Hennessy, I was commenting to DARYL, we've been working together for over 10 years, and he's the Chief of Staff of the Business Services Division of the Development Services Agency for the state of Ohio, and Karen Thompson from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. We're here today to announce an exciting new partnership between Jumpstart and KeyBank, and to talk about what that partnership will mean for our community. KeyBank and Jumpstart are long-standing partners. We've worked together for over a decade, and with Key's support, we've moved the region forward, and Key has been critical as we worked with many fellow nonprofit collaborators. Jumpstart can't do this alone. As we've collectively worked with lots of entrepreneurs and small business owners who we're proud to say have created a $4.5 billion economic impact in Ohio and created thousands of jobs over the last decade. And now, Key and Jumpstart are prepared to take our partnership to the next level. So to tell you a little bit more about that is Key Corp CEO, Beth Mooney.
Well, buckle up, because the next level is where we're going. And I just want to say thank you, Ray, and good morning to everyone. I can't tell you what an honor it is to be here, because I do think what we're going to do this morning is make a historic announcement that will affect not only our community, but communities where we can leverage the expertise and the model of Jumpstart to help expand and extend the influence into places that are near and dear to our hearts and other communities where Key does business in. But we do believe at its core that what we're going to talk about this morning is going to be an economic catalyst for this community, the entire state of Ohio, as well as I said, markets in upstate New York. And I want to echo what Ray said, that it's especially meaningful that we have so many entrepreneurs here with us today You know, Cleveland is a city on the rise. I was having the opportunity to speak with the mayor just before we got started, and the fact that the RNC was a year ago is a distant memory, because in the meantime, we have all done so much economically. I see Paul Dolan here in the sports world, and in our community is definitely on the move and looking forward to the future, and it is at its core the people in this room and those you represent. It is our small businesses, it is our employees across this great community of ours that is making a difference for our city. So I would also be remiss if I didn't make just a couple acknowledgments. I have this room packed with folks from KeyBank. Sorry, that's what we do, it's shameless. So I'm going to first acknowledge Margot Copeland, who is the CEO of the KeyBank Foundation. And you'll see in a moment she has many important roles to play, but she's got the check today. And then I also want to say Kip Clark, who is our president of our Northeast Ohio Regional President. And if you're from KeyBank, like I said, I hate to say we pack the room, but I'd love for you to raise your hand so I can say thank you, because it's on behalf of all of you. It's our mission, it's our passion, it's our values, it's our character, and it's the core of who we are that I think you're going to see, and I couldn't be prouder of these folks. And then not last but least, Bill Hartman, who is the Chief Risk Officer of KeyBank and also a Jumpstart board member. Bill. So for decades, Key has been focused on promising to help our clients and our communities to thrive. In our hometown of Cleveland and all the places we do business and all the places we call home, from Maine to Alaska and our great franchise. But my colleagues here today are the heart of all of that. So it, as I said, especially meaningful that they're here as part of this. So when we talk about being the heart of being here to help our communities and our clients thrive, it's about being a responsible bank, but it's about being a responsible citizen. And at the core of that, I like to call it, you can do good to do well. And investments come in many forms. And I believe creating jobs, opening minds, and ensuring diversity are all kinds of investments that help make Key a better company, a better community partner, and a responsible corporate citizen, which is incredibly important to us. And earlier this year, Key launched what we call our National Community Benefits Plan. You may have seen some press about it. It was a $16.5 billion 5-year commitment across our franchise for the purposes of mortgage lending, small business lending, community development, investment and lending, as well as transformative philanthropic investments throughout all our markets. And we have a long-standing history of supporting important projects and organizations with transformational potential. We identify, support, and partner with innovative efforts and organizations in our communities. Jumpstart is one of those organizations. And KeyBank, as you indicated, has been proud to be a partner of Jumpstart since 2006, and over the intervening decade, we've supported programs here to the tune of $1 million, and they have a lot to do with inclusion, minorities, inner city, and female entrepreneurs in Northeast Ohio. We've also been a longtime partner with the City of Cleveland and Mayor Frank Jackson. In fact, just over 2 months ago, KeyBank stood with Mayor Jackson and other banks to announce the Mayor's Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative. It's a $25 million fund to invest in moving our communities forward. The fund will funnel and concentrate resources towards supporting housing, small businesses, and workforce development in historically underserved neighborhoods in the city, and we're proud to partner with Mayor Jackson and the City of Cleveland in that regard as well. So the need to grow and invest in small businesses, startups, and scale-ups is evident in every community. And small business owners are always facing a host of challenges, and they continue to change and they continue to morph. And that's why we're excited to partner with Jumpstart to bring solutions that will boost and build small businesses and will create pathways to jobs. And a portion of this also includes, very importantly, our students, and a population in our Cleveland Metropolitan School District will also be the beneficiary of our efforts here today. So we thank the school district for being here as well. So today, we announce a new program that will amplify and extend this excellent work throughout KeyBank's footprint, upstate New York and Cleveland. It's about small businesses, it's about students, it's about neighborhoods. If that isn't foundational, I don't know what is. So it's with pride and excitement, and on behalf of the employees of KeyBank, those who are here and those who couldn't join us today, I'm pleased to announce the KeyBank Business Boost and Build program, powered by Jumpstart, hence our logo, and it will be funded by a $24 million grant from the KeyBank Foundation to Jumpstart. Just so you know, my script has a big exclamation point that I put next to it, so I'm glad you responded appropriately. Because I will tell you, that is the largest philanthropic investment we have ever made by a factor of 6 times. That is how much we believe that what we're doing is going to be a catalyst to neighborhoods, to communities, to businesses, to students. This is a worthy prize, and I can't think of a better partner to be doing it with. And it is also part of our National Community Benefits Plan, and probably our first transformational gift of this size of that plan. So it is a significant investment because it's going to increase capacity and partnership and with experienced organizations to stabilize neighborhoods for individuals and families by investing in their students and in their economic growth. But it's going to provide financial resources and opportunities to small businesses and create that clear pathway to how do you help create jobs that will indeed lift up a neighborhood. So with Jumpstart's help, their leadership, their model, and their board, their employees, we look forward to working with them in communities across, as I said, the state of Ohio, but it will also include Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, and Albany, New York, to help achieve these program goals. And we're also important to notice is that I think I have a favor to ask of everybody in this room. For those of you who actually come to benefit from the KeyBank Boost and Build program, know that your success will affect others. I want you, the small businesses or the students who will end up being touched by this, to have a fierce determination to make change and to succeed on your own terms, because truly, at the end of the day, that's the only way we as communities can thrive. So I can't wait to see where this takes us. I believe the future of our great city is bright, and I am proud to leverage an organization like Jumpstart to extend that into other markets where Key does business. And with that, I'm going to end my remarks, but I'm going to ask Margot Copeland to come up, because I said she has the check. And Ray, if you will join us, thank you all. We're going to put you in the middle.
Oh,
And he has a KeyBank tie on.
of course. Thank you is not strong enough, certainly, for this recognition. But Beth, we're greatly appreciative of your confidence and support in Jumpstart, and we're so appreciative of KeyBank's long-standing commitment to Jumpstart in our work over the last decade, particularly to small business, inclusion and diversity, and now we're going to take it to the next level with this new partnership. It's true that this announcement is a watershed moment for Jumpstart. This is going to enable us to scale our work and to expand, to allow us to energize the collaborations we already have with our fellow nonprofits, as well as support thousands of additional entrepreneurs as they generate new jobs, revenues, and transform lives. This is also an incredible milestone for our community's progress. Jumpstart had the opportunity, starting in 2004, to partner with numerous wise, generous, civic, philanthropic, and community leaders, many of whom are in the room right now, who envisioned a future for the greater Cleveland community, which included a thriving, vibrant, entrepreneurial ecosystem. And while we're not all the way there yet, we've made a lot of progress, and these resources are going to enable us to move that much more quickly. Back in 2004, this was an inspiring vision at the time, because Northeast Ohio had, in many ways, lost the spark of what one would call an entrepreneurial business culture. It lacked the broad-based business assistance at scale for a wide range of startup and small businesses, and offered very little in investment of risk capital for businesses, let alone other entrepreneurial assets which would help to attract and keep our most talented innovators, leaders, managers, and workers. Jumpstart was founded to address many of these challenges, and KeyBank was one of our very first partners in starting the journey we've been on as a community. So I have great respect and excitement when I consider what this new investment from Key will mean to business owners, entrepreneurs, neighborhoods, and communities. So this is also a significant moment for Jumpstart and for entrepreneurs and small business owners across Greater Cleveland and Ohio. It's also an incredible demonstration of Key's focus and passion to accelerate our community forward, as this funding will help us accelerate the realization of that now decade-long vision for our community. This new partnership will also help Jumpstart and our collaborators across the community accelerate our work, particularly focused on increasing the participation of rural, urban, and minority Ohioans in our innovation economy. We're especially excited about the creation of the KeyBank Center for Technology, Innovation, and Inclusive Growth, which will enable Jumpstart to more fully realize our mission to economically transform entire communities by supporting the work of Jumpstart and other nonprofits across the state of Ohio who are focused on increasing the percentage of rural and minority Ohioans in our innovation economy. Beth has already spoken to the scale of this broad-based program and the thousands of people it will impact. But at a more personal level, this partnership will also create many, many, many more individual success stories which will transform the future not only of our economy, but more importantly, the families and the neighborhoods that they live in. Jumpstart has many success stories, or our entrepreneurs actually have many success stories that Jumpstart's been a part of. And there's a couple success stories I'd like to talk about this morning, and one is Charu Ramanathan. So Charu spun out a technology from Case Western Reserve University back in 2006 and leveraged local funding and rigorous business assistance who helped her turn this technology into a company called Cardio Insight, which has been a thriving medical device startup that was purchased recently by Medtronic for $90 million. Charu is a perfect example of the kind of future we've all aspired to build, and I'm proud to say she's one of hundreds of entrepreneurs that we've been able to assist, but I very much appreciate your partnership with Jumpstart and you being here today. Another great example, Matt's not with us today, but we'd like to call out Matt Scantlin. Matt and his father founded a company based in Twinsburg about 9 years ago called Cover My Meds. And this company was an innovative software as a service business, and it figured out a very compelling way to solve problems at a pharmacy around prescription declines. And this little idea that you think, well, that could be interesting. Two gentlemen from Northeast Ohio and a gentleman from Columbus, but a father-son team and an entrepreneur from Northeast Ohio turned this idea into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise in 9 years. And Cover My Meds was just recently acquired by McKesson, which is a Fortune 5 company, the 5th largest company in the United States. They just acquired the company for over $1 billion, and Cover My Meds currently employs over 600 people. So there's another great example. But of course, there's going to be many, many, many examples, additional examples, over the next months and years. But I would like to call up one special, very special entrepreneur to Jumpstart, and that's Angela Flowers. So she's going to share her story with us in a few minutes, but Angela's business has the potential to solve an important problem for our community, and we think it's going to be a thriving business and employer in the process. I also want to shout out to a special guy to Jumpstart, and that's Brandon Armstrong, who's here at the front of the room. So Brandon's a rapper, an inventor, a startup founder, and an all-around inspiration who has incredible entrepreneurial spirit. And that spirit was spawned from a challenging childhood that he has already inspired not only Jumpstart, but hundreds, if not thousands, probably thousands of entrepreneurs. He's big on Facebook. So you can find Brandon on Facebook, an incredible inspiration to the future of our city and entrepreneurship more broadly. So we are super inspired by these entrepreneurs, And we know that you're just one example of the hundreds of additional entrepreneurs that'll follow you that'll accomplish similar outcomes. So with that in mind, I would like to call out all the entrepreneurs in the room. So if you're here with us, I'd ask you to stand. If you're an entrepreneur currently involved with Jumpstart, I'd ask you to stand. And secondarily, I'd ask everyone, you can go ahead and sit, I'd ask everybody who's here today that isn't an entrepreneur to reach out to some of these entrepreneurs. Get to know them before you leave today, learn a little bit about their story. I could go on for an hour just for the folks that are in the room. So as we think about these entrepreneurs and the thousands of companies who will benefit from our expanded partnership with KeyBank, I am also thinking about the tens of thousands of young people, some who are not yet even in school today, who will have access to better jobs because startups and growing small businesses like the ones with us today and the ones that will benefit from this program will be thriving and creating new opportunities for our children today into the future. So while we recognize the importance of this announcement to KeyBank and Jumpstart, together we have a collective vision and a passion to realize these goals related to economic growth and look forward to celebrating the significance that will be shown by how this effort helps communities we serve to embrace their full potential and to transform their economic future. So with all this in mind, please again please join me in thanking Beth Mooney, Margot Copeland, the Executive Vice President, Chair, and CEO of the KeyBank Foundation, and the entire KeyBank family for its partnership with Jumpstart and the KeyBank Business Boost and Build program. And speaking of important partnerships, our next speaker today has also been an incredibly important advocate for initiatives that accelerate small business success in the city of Cleveland and help everyone access resources that can help them achieve their entrepreneurial goals. Not only has Mayor Frank Jackson's administration supported our work and the work of our partners, he's also given of his own time attending one of Jumpstart's core city Cleveland pitch competitions in person to deliver an inspiring message to support the participants and to greet and get to know the audience. So please join me in welcoming to the podium Mayor Frank Jackson.
Good morning. And how are you? Good. Congratulations to Jumpstart for this partnership and initiative. And thank you, KeyBank, for your ongoing demonstration of your commitment and concern for the well-being of Cleveland and the residents of the city of Cleveland. KeyBank this is not something new for them. They have worked with the city on major initiatives, whether it was the Republican National Convention, the Public Square, the initiative that we have with our neighborhood initiative, and this initiative here. So it's an ongoing demonstration of their commitment to the city of Cleveland. And everything that we do is about how do we move Cleveland towards greatness. Now, Cleveland is not a great city yet. It's a successful city. And we can talk about those successes in terms of initiatives and outcomes and things, but we're successful. Our greatness will be measured by what we do in terms of allowing everyone to participate in that prosperity and the quality of life that we create as a community. And the only way that we can do that is as a community. There's nothing that we've done that we have not been successful at, that we've been successful at, and we've always done it as a community. And this is one of those things as we move towards entrepreneurship, education, career path, including everyone and giving them the tools they need to be successful, moving all of us to greatness. That is what we need to do, and this initiative, this partnership is part of that. So congratulations, and thank you very much, ma'am. All right.
So thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're very honored to have you with us today. So our next speaker represents another critical partner in Jumpstart's ongoing work, and that's Cuyahoga County. As Chief of Staff to County Executive Armin Budish and the former CEO of Cleveland's nonprofit Centers for Family and Children, Sharon Sable Jordan understands the importance of collaboration and the ability of public-private partnerships to help create jobs and stimulate economic growth. Under leaders like Armin and Sharon, Cuyahoga County has displayed a visionary openness to new ideas for helping entrepreneurs and small business owners. As a result, Cuyahoga County has been supportive to Jumpstart on several initiatives in the last few years. This includes supporting Jumpstart's 3 currently active venture capital funds, which the county backed in the form of a $4.5 million guaranteed loan. This support has been instrumental into the ability of these funds to invest in high-potential entrepreneurs in the county and to accelerate their exciting new ventures. We're very fortunate to have such forward-thinking leadership at the county, and we look forward to ongoing collaboration as we begin to implement the KeyBank Business Boost and Build program. Please join me in welcoming Sharon Sable Jordan.
Thank you, Ray. It is my pleasure to be here. The county executive sends his regrets. He would have very much liked to be here for this announcement, but it's my pleasure to be here to offer a few thoughts on behalf of the county. And I always like to start with our charter, because the people of this county took the bold step of reforming our government not so long ago because they wanted to significantly improve the economic competitiveness of our county. That's actually how our charter begins. And they hope for a government that would have greater strategic focus on job creation, equity, in order to have long-term regional and global competitiveness. Your county officials, our county executive, county council, and our senior leadership team are laser focused in on this. In fact, it guides everything we do at the county. So to fulfill this charge, we are working very hard with our partners, both at the system and program level, to build the skills of our residents and attract people back to our county so that our workforce is a competitive advantage here, and also to support the growth and profitability of our businesses so that they can create great jobs and career paths for our residents. We at the county believe in strong partnerships and that they are essential to propel our region forward. We know that the shared success of our future really depends on our effectiveness of being able to partner today. So to be the best partner we can be at the county, we have been working very hard to unify your county government around one vision, one mission, and one strategy. So it is particularly exciting for us today to honor the collaboration between the two of you, two of our very best partners, KeyBank and Jumpstart, as they join forces in a very targeted, impactful way that is sure to create great value for all of us. KeyBank is a private sector leader that knows how to effectively partner to get results. The county and KeyBank have a long history of successful collaborations. Our most recent, though, is KeyBank's remarkable leadership investment in our successful private partnership to expand access to high-quality early childhood education to the kids that most need it in our community, and we thank you for that. KeyBank gets that high-quality education and great career opportunities are critical to lifting our residents up and moving our region forward. And so it's no surprise that this partnership with Jumpstart is focused in on the pipeline. Students, entrepreneurs, small businesses, all with a great focus on creating jobs and transforming communities. And as for Jumpstart, we at the county have been steadily expanding our partnership with Jumpstart over the last few years for 3 main reasons. First, we share a goal of creating an economically vibrant city and county. Second, we recognize Jumpstart's proven track record over the last decade of growing startups, scale-ups, and core city entrepreneurial companies. And third, we share a commitment to creating opportunity for all. Currently, the county does participate, as Ray just mentioned, in 3 funds with Jumpstart, including the Focus Fund, which is a $10 million fund that invests seed capital for tech startups and companies that are led by African American, Latino, and female entrepreneurs. We've also worked with other colleagues of Jumpstarts in the community that are driving this priority forward, last year launching the Capital Access Fund with the Urban League that has already distributed $2 million in loans to 15 businesses, retaining 170 jobs and creating 49 new ones. In our partnership with ECDI, 45% of the loans go to minority-owned businesses, 41% go to female-owned businesses. So we are especially grateful to KeyBank and Jumpstart for making this focus on these very important entrepreneurs a big focus of your new partnership. In closing, as I prepared today, I just found myself thinking about what the county executive would say if he were here. And we all know that the county executive often likes to attempt to inject a little humor into his remarks, and he particularly likes a good pun. So I was imagining that if he were here, he probably would be saying something like, this historic community investment is sure to accelerate business growth and will be key to jumpstart the careers of thousands of our residents. So, yeah, while that is absolutely true, no one can deliver a pun like our county executive. So let me just say, in a not so funny but heartfelt way, 3 last things. First, we at the county are very grateful for this historic investment and the partnership it's creating between Jumpstart and KeyBank. Second, we are so looking forward to the impact that it will have in this community, an impact that we know can't even imagine right now, for small businesses that are ready to start up and scale up, for our residents that are looking for a path to career and income advancement, and for students who are looking for a brighter future. And third, we look forward to continuing our partnership with KeyBank and Jumpstart and the entrepreneurs in this room to achieve our shared future. So thank you very much.
Before we switch gears, I want to make a special thank you to the county as well for their support for Growth Opportunity Partners. Jumpstart launched or helped to found a CDFI organization a couple years ago, and Michael Jeans is here and some of his team is in the room, and the county's been incredibly supportive to Growth Ops as well, so I want to thank the county for that. So neat, Sharon, I really appreciate you being here, and Armin and I go way back, so it's neat to continue the partnership with the county. So next I'd like to open the podium to Angela Flowers, who is not only a successful entrepreneur, she's also a graduate of Jumpstart's Core City Cleveland Impact Program. Her business, which is called Making a Difference Consulting, is an in-school counseling service that is helping school children improve behavioral and academic performance while providing professional development and training for educators and parents. Angela is such a wonderful example of why we do what we do at Jumpstart. And with just a little help, she's not only been able to accelerate the growth of her own business, she's also begun to help pay that forward by assisting other entrepreneurs and small business owners in her community. She is an inspiration to other entrepreneurs she has helped, and she's certainly an inspiration to all of us. So please welcome Angela Flowers.
Thank you, Ray. I'm proud to be here to tell you about my company and how Jumpstart has been instrumental in helping me become a better and more successful entrepreneur. I'm the co-founder of Making a Difference Consulting. In 2007, my partners and I were counselors and social workers in various school districts. Through this work, we found that children who were unable to cope within the classroom due to anger issues or mental health issues or life stressors were negatively impacted, both academically and behaviorally. Their unmet mental health needs were keeping them from growing both as students and productive citizens. My business, Making a Difference Consulting, began as a series of summer programs to help fulfill the unmet mental health needs during the summertime. But we soon found out that many children needed more ongoing support and social emotional learning. So over the next decade, we evolved into a full-time company working with our students both individually during their off periods, lunch periods, and after school, and providing ongoing support right in the classroom. Today, we are a full-service youth educational consulting firm that provides counseling services, gender-specific support groups, professional development, and training to students, educators, youth development workers, parents, and families. I love my business. And I'm here today because Jumpstart has been so critical to our growth. Before I began working with Jumpstart, I had 3 contract employees. Within 1 year, we now have 14. Since I found Jumpstart, they have greatly expanded my support network, giving me access to new mentors, advisors, and other entrepreneurs who are experiencing similar issues while trying to grow their companies. We always knew that our business model worked based on the feedback that we received from parents, teachers, and also from administrators. But with Jumpstart's help, we've been able to develop a system that demonstrated the added value, showing the school districts that we work with, including the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, how we are helping them to close the achievement gap by raising students' grade point average, by reducing behavioral referrals and suspensions, but also improving graduation rates. Jumpstart also helped me refocus my business on growth by drilling down who my customers really were, who my future customers would be, but also who I wanted to develop and what other types of programs and products to develop in the future. Jumpstart has helped me to gain several new ideas for my business, which includes developing clinical products to help other counselors and social workers when they are doing therapy sessions with children and families, an app to help more counselors and social workers at the graduate level navigate the licensure process and pass their exam. But most importantly, the lessons I've learned about my own business over the last year have led us to begin pursuing a franchise model, beginning in Arizona, but also in Georgia, and eventually hoping to expand across the United States. In another decade, I hope to be a leading multi-billion-dollar company headquartered right here in Northeast Ohio with satellite offices and employees spread out all over the country. And as a graduate of Cleveland Metropolitan School District, I just would love to be here in Northeast Ohio as the headquarters. I know this is a very ambitious goal. I also know it won't be easy to achieve, but working with Jumpstart has helped me to get comfortable with being even more ambitious about the growth of my business. I now feel like I have the tools and the skills ready to grow my business more aggressively, and that's all due to Jumpstart. Once again, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to be here today, and I'd also like to thank all of you who have partnered with Jumpstart to help them do what they do best for entrepreneurs and small business owners like myself. Help us grow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela. Now, anyone who knows Jumpstart understands our work would be impossible to discuss at any depth without mentioning the Ohio Third Frontier. 16 years ago, Ohio entrepreneurs were struggling to figure out where to go next, where to get the resources they needed to advance their business. And leaders in state government decided to try something very different to restart our challenged entrepreneurial economy across the state. So back in 2002, the Ohio Third Frontier program began, and this initiative today remains one of the most innovative and important public, private, and philanthropic civic initiatives focused on supporting entrepreneurs and small businesses in the U.S. The Ohio Third Frontier's steadfast support of the services and investing activities of Jumpstart and our collaborators across Ohio have been the financial foundation of all of our work, as we have provided a unique mix of capital investment and intensive technical assistance to entrepreneurs and small business owners who need that, and we need them to rebuild our future economy. The Ohio Third Frontier support of Jumpstart and our peer organizations across the state has also demonstrated the viability of these very, very unique and compelling public, private, and philanthropic partnerships, which has turned our state from a place that investors ignored to a thriving hub of innovation and entrepreneurship where investors from across the world are active and engaged. When Ohio's first tech unicorn, CoverMyMeds, was acquired for more than $1 billion earlier this year, the first round of stories focused on the sheer size of the financial transaction. The second set of stories focused on how the Ohio Third Frontier helped the company grow from a tiny 3-person startup with a vision to a thriving healthcare juggernaut, recognized globally. It's important to see such a critically important initiative get the credit it deserves, and we look forward to continuing to do work together with the Ohio Third Frontier in the years to come. So with that, please welcome DARYL HENNESSY, the Chief of Staff of the Ohio Business Services Division, which leads the work on an everyday basis of the Ohio Third Frontier. DARYL.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Ray, for those kind words, and thank you, KeyBank, for your investment in Northeast Ohio and what we're trying to do here, I think, with respect to our technology-based investments in the state of Ohio. And Angela, that's some ambitious work you have ahead of you. So good luck. You've found a good partner in Jumpstart, though, to help make that happen. So on behalf of Director Goodman, who actually also serves as the chair of the Ohio Third Frontier Commission, unfortunately he couldn't be here today. He would have loved to have heard that story. I'll be certain to share that with him. So let me say this. The Ohio Third Frontier is a decade-long investment that the state of Ohio has made to diversify and help transition Ohio's economy, as Ray said, from what was maybe a little bit more heavily focused on manufacturing to a little bit more on the innovation-based economy. Today's announcement and the expanded partnership with KeyBank and Jumpstart is a great example that it's not just the public money, though, that's making the difference. There's a lot of private investment and other partners that are contributing to Ohio's success, growing technology companies and creating the jobs of tomorrow. The announcement today reflects the type of public-private partnerships that have proven to transform communities across the state and unlock the potential of entrepreneurs from different paths and backgrounds. We are excited to see the impact of this investment, providing support for thousands of tech startup and scale-up companies, leading to thousands of new jobs. We are also excited about the specific opportunities for minority and rural entrepreneurs. Jumpstart is a leader in supporting diverse entrepreneurs, and these new initiatives are another step in providing access and opportunities for all Ohioans. The establishment of the KeyBank Center for Innovation, Technology, and Inclusive Growth, the partnership with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District to help our students learn, and the work that you're doing directly with entrepreneurs are all types of examples of programs that will drive Ohio's economy forward, enable all Ohioans to participate in this growth. Ohio is a leader in technology and innovation, and we are stronger when as many Ohioans as possible share in the state's growing economic strength. This is central to the mission of the Ohio Third Frontier, to make Ohio's growing technology company more accessible and inclusive. Today's announcement is a great example of supporting the companies and jobs of the future and encouraging diversity, which will bring the most success to Ohioans and all Ohio. Thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this significant announcement. Congratulations to Jumpstart. Thank you again, KeyBank, for your participation, and good luck with your continued growth.
Let me also make a special call out to some very important folks in the room who've been some of the most important partners for Jumpstart in relationship to the Third Frontier, and that's the Cleveland Foundation and the Fund for Our Economic Future. Over the last, as well as the Burton D. Morgan Foundation, over the last decade, more than a decade, those three institutions have provided tens of millions of dollars to Jumpstart to support entrepreneurs. It was their money, their grants, their investments in Jumpstart that served as match for the Ohio Third Frontier. That's one of the challenges of our world, is that every public dollar you seek, you need to match with at least one other non-state dollar. So a special call out to Brad, Shilpa, and other Kadar from the Cleveland Foundation, Brad Whitehead from the Fund for Economic Future, because there's absolutely no way Jumpstart would be where we are today without their support. So thank you very much. So there's nothing that startups, growing small businesses, or vibrant economies need more than talented young people with vision, creativity, and a strong work ethic. Under the leadership of our current CEO, Eric Gordon, and with the support of many partners, some of whom are with us today, the Cleveland Municipal School District senior leadership team is working hard to transform Cleveland's metropolitan schools, including scaling what is working to help more children access the kinds of workforce opportunities that can change their lives and transform their community. We are super proud and excited to be able to partner with the district in this important work as part of the KeyBank Business Boost and Build program. We're looking forward to working with and learning from CMSD as we work to clear obstacles and open new pathways for good jobs for the students who will be the future of our workforce. So with that, please welcome Karen Thompson Deputy Chief of Curriculum and Instruction for CMSD's Academics Department.
So good morning, or good afternoon, I should say to everybody. CEO Gordon sends his regards and wanted me to share how excited the district is by this significant community partnership and investment by the KeyBank Foundation. Part of our portfolio model in the redesign of our high schools has been to create opportunities to develop schools with specific career focus. And I want to give you one example, such as our John Marshall campus, which involves 3 new innovative high schools. The first one is our School of Civic and Business Leadership, which has students run on-site a business, the Rising Star Coffee House. I got to have the coffee all last week. We had a teacher training of about 250 teachers, and believe you me, we use that every morning to get our day powered. The second school is the School of Engineering, which promotes engineering practices every day with students utilizing the Marketplace Lab and the Makerspace Lab, as well as a center of creativity and innovation through incorporating engineer design principles in their lessons daily. Finally, the third school is the School of Information Technology. This provides students with a focus on computer science throughout the curriculum. Gaming design, robotics, as well as bioinformatics are part of their curriculum design. These are just 3 of the new high schools that have been designed, and it's critical, let me underscore critical, to have strong industry and business partnerships for this work. As we know, immersing students in a specific career provides a stronger context for learning. Students can connect the rationale for what they're learning new contact to a career skill or objective to their school's design. To continue to build an environment of our student success and inquiry, the district is so excited to support and deepen partnerships that engage students in learning by putting subject content into real-world context and application. Thank you, KeyBank Foundation, for making a monumental investment in our city and our children. Thank you, Jumpstart, for being the power-up of the KeyBank Business Boost and Build. We are so thrilled to be part of this partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. We are so excited to jump into our partnership with you. And hello, everybody. I'm Kathy BELK. I'm the president of Jumpstart. I'm so glad to be here today. I'd like to end our program today with a big thank you to KeyBank for this historic and transformative philanthropic partnership. I'd also, of course, really like to thank our many current and future partners. We know that our goals are very ambitious, and we are not going to be able to accomplish them without our partners. So we are very much looking forward to working with you today and in the future. And of course, this work would have no meaning without our entrepreneurs and our small business owners. I'm trying to look at all of you because we mean that from the bottom of our heart. We thank everything that you're doing every day. We thank you for leading your businesses and for driving our new economic future. So this concludes our official remarks. And our speakers are now available for photos and for on-site media interviews. And thank you all for coming so much today.